Hello children, welcome to the session 4 of Social Science grade 9. So today in this class let us discuss the salient features of Indian Constitution. The salient features of Indian Constitution. So in the introduction classes I explained to you about our Indian Constitution, when it is framed and how many days time they are taken to complete our Constitution and what is constitutional preamble. So everything we discussed in the previous classes. So in this class you are going to learn about the salient features of Indian Constitution. See, I told to you our Constitution contains the best features of world constitutions. Why? Because means the topics which we are borrowed in our Constitution from the different countries' Constitution. So, if we entered into the salient features of Indian Constitution, the first character of Indian Constitution is Indian Constitution is a written and lengthy constitution. It is a written form and lengthy. It is a written form as well as lengthy constitution. Why our constitution is the lengthiest one? Remember, we are having one of the largest written constitution in the world along with the United States of America. So why it is mentioned like that means, first of all, our constitution is in written form. So in our constitution the functions of three organs of the government. What are the three organs of the government here? Legislature, executive and judiciary. The functions of three organs of the government in our constitution clearly explained, and it is clearly explained about the fundamental rights as well as fundamental duties, and moreover that directive principles of state policy also explained in detail in our constitution. Due to that reason our constitution is a written one as well as lengthiest constitution. So initially our constitution contains 22 chapters. Our constitution contains 22 chapters, 8 schedules, 395 articles. 395 articles. Initially, our constitution contains 22 chapters, 8 schedules, and 395 articles. After a lot of amendment means changes taken place in our constitution. So after done lot of amendments in our constitution, at present we have 25 chapters and 12 schedules and here 465 articles. 465 articles. Remember carefully here, listen carefully. Initially we have 22 chapters, 8 schedules and 395 articles. After a lot of amendments taken place in our constitution, at present 25 chapters, 12 schedules and 465 articles. Due to that reason, our constitution will be called as it is a written constitution as well as lengthy constitution. Here the functions of legislature, executive, judiciary explained clearly, and the information about fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy also explained clearly. So due to all those reasons, our constitution, the first character is it is a written form as well as the lengthiest constitution. The second one, our constitution is partially flexible and partially rigid. Partially flexible and partially rigid. What is partially flexible? If the amendment of the constitution is easy, then that is known as flexible constitution or simple constitution. Remember carefully, if the constitution amendment is easy, then it is called flexible constitution or simple constitution. In our constitution, there are some topics which we can change through the simple amendment. We can change it through the simple amendment. So, due to that reason, our constitution is considered as a flexible constitution and rigid constitution. Some parts of the Indian constitution we can change, but through some special process, then only we can change those topics. That's what the reason why Indian constitution is partially flexible and partially rigid. Remember why it is a partially flexible? Flexible constitution means if the constitution amendment is easy, then it is known as flexible constitution. So if the constitution amendment takes place through some special process, that is known as rigid constitution. So our constitution is both, it is partially flexible as well as partially rigid constitution. So now the next character, parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government. So we adopted parliamentary form of government in our constitution. Parliamentary form. Parliamentary form of government. So now in India, the ultimate power is vested with the representatives elected by the people. The representatives of parliament elected by the people, they are enjoying sovereign power. Elected parliamentarians. Elected parliamentarians having sovereign power in our Indian government, in our country. And moreover that, here executive is responsible. Executive is responsible towards legislature. Executive is responsible. Remember carefully, executive is one of the organ of the government and the legislature is also one of the organ of the government. Already in the previous classes in the lowest standard, you get to know that what legislature will do, it will make laws. What executive will do, it will implement laws. So, in our parliamentary form of government, executive is responsible towards the legislature. Means, executive contains cabinet. Cabinet means group of ministers. Cabinet means group of ministers. So here the cabinet ministers, they are enjoying their power until they are maintaining confidence in the legislature. Until they are having confidence in the legislature, they are enjoying power in our government. Once the cabinet ministers lost their confidence in the legislature, they have to resign from their position. That is known as no confidence motion. No confidence motion. Remember clearly, in the parliamentary form of government, elected parliamentarians are having great power. So, executive is responsible towards legislature. Executive is nothing but a cabinet. Cabinet means what? Group of ministers. These group of ministers, they are enjoying their power until they have confidence in the legislature. Once they lost confidence in the legislature, they have to resign from their positions. So here these kind of government is known as parliamentary form of government. So here the ministers can remove from their positions, that is no confidence motion. No confidence. The cabinet can remove from their position through the no confidence motion. This type of government is known as parliamentary form of government. Next, republican system. Republican system. First of all, let us know who is the head of Indian Republic. President is the head. President is the head of Indian Republic. So, how the president is elected? The president is elected through the people indirectly. The president is elected by the people indirectly. So here Republican means the head of our Indian Constitution. The head of the Indian Constitution is elected by the people indirectly. That kind of system is known as Republican system. Means the constitutional head of our country is elected by the people. That is Republican system. So next, the next character of Indian Constitution is it is a federal system. Our government is a federal system. So what is federal here? Federal means both two. Federal. Federal system. So in federal form of government, the administrative responsibilities are shared by central government, state government, and some responsibilities are concurrent. Listen carefully. Administrative responsibilities divided into central government responsibilities, state government responsibilities, and concurrent. Concurrent means combined responsibility. Here centralist. Hundred subjects. Next, state listed. 61 subjects. And concurrent. 52 subjects. Listen. The administrative powers will be shared among central and state. Central government will be having 100 subjects. Subject means here topics. State is having 61 subjects. 61 means topics. And the concurrent 52. Concurrent means both. Remember, in this 100 subjects, central government is responsibility to make laws. State government should not involve. And in these 61 subjects, state government having complete responsibility to make laws. And while coming to concurrent, it is a combined function of central government as well as state government. These kind of administration division is called federal system. This kind of administration is called federal system. And if in case any dispute arised in between central government and state government, Supreme Court is responsible to solve any kind of dispute in between central government and state government. So this kind of government is known as federal system and federal government. As for this one, administrative responsibilities are divided into centralist, statelist and concurrent. Concurrent means combined. Centralist how many? 100. State 61. Combined list, that is 52. So next, fundamental rights. The next important characteristics of Indian Constitution, that is fundamental rights. So in your lower classes you may learn about fundamental rights. So what are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the basic rights given by the Constitution to the citizens. Fundamental rights are the basic rights given by the Constitution to the citizens. In our Constitution, third part, article number 12 to 35. Article number 12 to 35. That articles are deal with the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights concept we are borrowed from American Constitution. American Constitution. That is known as Bills of Rights. Bills of Rights. The concept of fundamental rights we are borrowed from the American Constitution, that is known as Bills of Rights. In our Constitution, third part, article number 12 to 35 deal with fundamental rights. Children, I told you fundamental rights are the basic rights given by the Constitution to the citizens. So here you can protect your fundamental rights by the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court is a protector of our fundamental rights. At any point of time, if anything will be happens our fundamental rights, then we can make one appeal. We can make appeal in the Supreme Court in order to protect our fundamental rights. That's what Supreme Court is responsible for our fundamental rights. Supreme Court is a protector of our fundamental rights. So it is all about fundamental rights. This concept we adopted from the American Constitution. Actually, at present there are 6 fundamental rights are given by the Constitution to the citizens of our country. The next fundamental right, the future of Indian Constitution, which is nothing but fundamental duties. It is one of the important character of Indian Constitution. So previously we discussed about fundamental rights. So now what are fundamental duties? Fundamental duties are the responsibilities performed by the citizens voluntarily. Fundamental duties are the responsibilities performed by the citizens voluntarily towards country. Example, singing national anthem, respecting national anthem, respecting national flag, national emblem, respecting elders. Those are the important fundamental duties. Government won't make compulsory, but this is our voluntary action. no one keep any kind of pressure on us to follow these fundamental duties, but we have to perform these duties voluntarily. In our constitution, fourth chapter, 51A clause. In our constitution, fourth chapter, 51A clause deal with fundamental duties. So, fourth chapter, 51A clause deal with fundamental duties. This concept we are adopted from Russia. Fundamental duties concept we adopted from Russia. It is also known as USSR. Adopted from Russia or USSR. So here the concept is these duties we have to perform voluntarily, but no authority is responsible to protect our fundamental duties. So while we discussing about fundamental duties, one amendment which is very important as one of the fundamental duty. Here 86th amendment. Amendment means change. 86th amendment in the year 2002. 86th amendment in the year 2002. According to this amendment, it is a primary duty to the parents to provide compulsory education to their children in between the age of 6 to 14 years children. So it is a duty of every parent as well as guardians to provide compulsory education to their children whose age is in between 6 to 14 years. So this amendment is added as a 11th fundamental duty. It is 11th fundamental duty. So how many fundamental duties are there? 11 fundamental duties are there. The 11th fundamental duty is nothing but providing compulsory education to the children, that is in between the age of 6 to 14 years. As per which amendment? 86th amendment in the year 2002. So that is all about the fundamental duties that is incorporated in our constitution in the fourth chapter, clause 51A. After that, directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy. Children, directive principles of state policy, this concept we borrowed from Ireland Constitution. Ireland Constitution. Directive principles of state policy we borrowed from the Ireland Constitution. We know about fundamental rights and we know about fundamental duties. Then what about directive principles of state policy? Remember, directive principles of state policy, these are the guidelines given to the government. Guidelines to the government in the administration. Whenever the government is going to run administration, they should look after directive principles of state policy. But here there is no compulsion on the government by the constitution to follow directive principles of state policy. The major aim to incorporate directive principles of state policy, that is nothing but social welfare. Social welfare. Establishing social welfare is the basic aim of directive principles of state policy. So these are some guidelines given to the central government as well as state government. So they have to look into directive principles while they are maintaining administration in our country. But here no court of law has a right to ask question on government whether they are following directive principles of state policy or not. I told to you, it is not a compulsion on the government to follow directive principles of state policy, but these are the guidelines to the government. The major aim what here? Establishing social welfare is a major aim of directive principles of state policy. After that, independent and centralized judiciary. Independent and centralized judiciary. Here there are three organs are there. One is legislature, executive, judiciary. Executive is responsible towards legislature, but judiciary is a independent one. The organ judiciary is a independent one. It don't have any connection with the legislature as well as executive. That's what here the point is. Our judiciary is independent. Our judiciary is independent. And centralized judiciary. Centralized judiciary means in India, Supreme Court is the highest judiciary. Supreme Court is the highest court of law. Supreme Court is the highest court of law. Remaining all the high courts, they have to follow the guidelines given by the Supreme Court. It is the highest court of law. So here justification for our point is independent and centralized judiciary. Independent judiciary means judiciary is a independent organ. It don't have any connection with legislature and executive, and it is a centralized. Our judiciary in India centralized means Supreme Court, the one and only court. It is the highest court of law. Remaining all the high courts of respective states, they have to follow the guidelines given by the Supreme Court of India. So that is important character, independent and centralized judiciary. Next, single citizenship. In India, federal type of government will be there. Means central government is there, state government is there. But in order to promote nationalism, among Indians, our constitution adopted single citizenship concept. Means whether you are belongs to any state in India, but our citizenship is common, our identification is common. So here example, one person belongs to the state Karnataka, he don't have any citizenship from the Karnataka government, he is having the citizenship from the Indian government only. In the same manner, a person belongs to the Gujarat, he don't have any citizenship from Gujarat government, he is having only one citizenship, which is nothing but Indian citizenship. So why our constitution is adopted single citizenship? Because in order to promote nationalism among the Indians, single citizenship concept we adopted in our constitution. Example, the countries like America, they are following dual citizenship. Means what? Example, you take one state in America, New York. So the person who living in New York is having the citizenship of New York as well as is having the citizenship of America. So in India not like that, only one citizenship, that is from the Indian citizenship. There is no citizenship from the state government. Next, adult franchise. What is meant by adult franchise? in India, elections are conducted. I told you, right, India is a republic country. Means what? The people are responsible to elect their representatives. How they will elect their representatives? That is through the elections. In India, elections are conducted by the election commission for how many years? For every 5 years. Those are known as general elections. Those are known as general elections. Okay. In that elections, who are the people having the right to give their votes? All the people? No. The citizens who crossed the age of 18. The citizens who crossed the age of 18, for them the voting right is given by the constitution to elect their representatives. That means what? The people whose age is below 18, they don't have any right to give their vote to their representatives. So the voting right is given only for the people who cross the age of 18 years. That is known as adult franchise. What is that? Adult franchise. Next, bicameral legislature. Bicameral. Here you have to know the meaning of two words. Bicameral and unicameral. Bicameral, unicameral. In India, central legislature is called parliament. Central legislature is called parliament. So, in parliament, if the central legislature contains two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. Remember, if the central legislature contains two houses, one is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, that is known as bicameral. Central legislature consists two houses, Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha means bicameral. Now you can say the definition, right? What is unicameral? If the central legislature having one house, that is known as unicameral. In that, which house is preferable? Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha. So here uni means one, bi means two. Unicameral means in legislature only one house is there. Bicameral means in legislature there are two houses are there, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. Unicameral only Lok Sabha. So that is how they will form, that we will discuss in the coming classes. So now central legislature is called parliament. So here bicameral, unicameral. Bicameral means two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. Unicameral means one house, that is only Lok Sabha. Next, party system. Party system. So India is a what kind of country? India is a democratic country. India is a democratic country. In democratic country, the political party's role is very important. The political party's role very important. In India, multi-party system is there. Multi-party. Multi-party system means there are more political parties in India. You may be classified that political parties into regional parties, national parties. Example I will give to you: BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. That is a national party or regional party? National party. Why? Because means that political party you are observing in every state in India, that is national party. And I will give another example: regional party. Example, you take our state Karnataka. JDS, Janata Dal Secular, that is a regional party. So here, in a democratic country like India, party system is very important. Political parties have played a very important role in that in the democratic country. Okay, in a election, the political party which won majority of votes, the political party which won majority of votes and form a government means that is known as ruling party. Ruling party. The political party which won majority of votes and formed a government, that is known as ruling party. So in Karnataka at present, what is the ruling party? BJP is the ruling party. And another party which is very important to question the rule of ruling party, which is nothing but opposition party. The political party which won the majority of votes next to the ruling party, that is known as opposition party. So the second position political party which won majority of votes in the election, that is opposition party. Remember children, democratic country like India, the role of opposition party is very very important. The role of opposition leader also is very important. Can you imagine the proper administration in our country without the opposition party? No. If there is a opposition party means the opposition party members, they will question the activities of a ruling party. So multi-party system we are facing. Party system means democratic country like India, political parties roles are very important. That is all about the important feature of Indian Constitution, party system. My dear children, in this class, in the session 4 class, we discussed the salient features of Indian Constitution. I hope everyone is clear about this topic. So I hope you understand well. So in the coming classes, we will meet again with the other topics of the same lesson. That is all about Indian Constitution. Thank you. Have a nice day.